thank you for watching. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Peace be upon you. Nice to meet you again. I am Shawqia Hawawre from Palestine, the president of the Arab English Teachers Association. And today we will welcome our guest speaker in our 53rd webinar about many sessions that we held in our association. Our guest speaker is Mrs. Jelena Kovačević, if it is pronounced correctly, from Croatia. Welcome our guest speaker, Miss Jelena, and thanks a lot for accepting our invitation to deliver this session, which is very important for us as digital educators, and it is titled as Teacher Innovation in Education and Digital Collaboration. As you know, it is a very necessary topic, and we will discuss it with our guest speaker. And innovation in education is very important for us to learn more about it, and also digital collaboration as a very necessary topic that we will have a lot of information in this webinar, inshallah. Thanks another time, Ms. Jelena, for accepting and for joining us in this great session. And also, I want to thank our attendees from all over the world for being with us for the 53rd time in our association, and also welcome a lot. Now, let's move to the following one. As I said, I'm Shawqia Hawawre. I am an MIE expert for the 3rd year, and also I have a lot of achievements either locally or globally, and that's due to and thanks to our Lord. Thanks God. Okay. Mrs. Jelena is a very great educator, and she is an English teacher at Secondary Vocational School of Economics, and she has 25 years of teaching experience. She studied and completed the course of English Language and Literature and Information Science at the Faculty of Philosophy, and she's driven by passion for international collaboration. She is coordinating Erasmus and projects and participating in various international projects. And also, Ms. Jelena is a co-organizer of the first international competition, which is titled as Let's Celebrate Edu Day and launched in 2021. Mrs. Jelena is taking pride in providing numerous diverse opportunities for students, and she's promoted into teacher advisor for her extraordinary commitment and engagement in extracurricular activities. Also, Ms. Jelena is sharing examples of good practices and delivering speeches at national and international webinars. She's awarded by the Ministry of Education and proclaimed among 500 best teachers in Croatia in 2021 and 2022. She's awarded also by Forum for Freedom of Education in 2022. MashaAllah, great achievements. Congratulations for your achievements, Ms. Jelena. And we are so pleased and proud to be with us this evening. Thank you. And now the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Shawqia, for this nice introduction. Thank you for all the attendees for expressing interest in hearing what I have prepared for you today. Now, good afternoon, everyone. I think that, or good morning, good evening, wherever you are from. I am from Croatia, as Ms. Shawqia has introduced me, and it is, let's say, 17 minutes past 4 here. So I wish everybody a warm welcome. Thank you once again for inviting me. I'm privileged and honored, and I have never spoken in front of Arab English Teachers Association before. And I'm quite excited about it, I have to say. I will try to
So,
start.
Yes, you can start your presentation. And so also we are so proud to have you for the first time, and we hope that this will not be the last time to be with us, Miss Jelena.
As you would say, inshallah, huh?
Inshallah, yes,
Inshallah.
great.
Yeah, okay. All right,
Inshallah.
so let me try to, I have to switch on the, okay, I need to be sharing the presentation. Am I sharing the presentation now?
Yes,
I
it is
am.
visible now.
Okay,
Yes.
hopefully everything will work. I can't see anything but my
Inshallah.
presentation. So if there is a need, you can stop me, or I don't know, because I can't see any hands raised in the air. I don't see the chat box now. So
Don't worry.
you'll have to help
Don't
me.
worry. I will follow them. I will follow them. Don't
All right.
worry.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So my name is Jelena, and I'm an English teacher, just like you are, I suppose, everybody here. Whenever I'm asked to give a speech, I always, and I have spoken quite a lot at international webinars from Indonesia to Turkey. I've held meetings with different teachers around the world. I always kind of warn the organizer that I'm no scholar. But rather just an ordinary secondary school teacher or high school teacher I am. In an ordinary secondary school in Croatia, I work in a vocational school of economics here. And I am always reassured by the organizers that it is exactly what the organizer is looking for. So just an ordinary practitioner with some years of teaching experience. And in my case, that has amounted up to 25 years. So somebody willing to share ideas and exchange examples of good practices with other colleagues, English teachers. So hopefully my experience can help you gain some insight or spark off some ideas on how you can spice up your everyday teaching. As I have mentioned earlier, I come from a very small country, Croatia, and at the beginning of today's talk, I would like to ask you, or I would like to ask the audience, all the participants, to go to menti.com. Can you just tell me whether my slide has changed? Can you see what I'm looking at? Question for the audience.
Yes.
Okay, great. So go to www.menti.com and use the code provided here. It is 66802874, or simply scan the QR code and answer the simple question. What do you know about Croatia?
Yes, please, our guests, go to Mentimeter or by the QR code and be active with our guest speaker.
We'll wait for a couple of moments.
Yes, I will try to send them also the link.
Okay, great, thank you. And then I will present what the audience has written.
Okay.
So anything you know about Croatia, whether it be a name, a city, a personal experience perhaps, or any other fact that you are familiar with about my country. If nothing, you can, it is allowed to write, I don't know anything about it. My country is if Ms. Shawqia, you are located in Palestine. I don't know about the other attendees.
Yes.
That would mean that we are some, let's say, 2,500 kilometers apart.
Oh.
Which is not that far, because last time I gave a speech in Indonesia, we were like, I don't know, 17,000 kilometers or something. So, yeah. Okay.
Yes,
I think
Miss Zubaida says we are eager to know more about your country from you, please. Yes,
Okay.
of course, she will tell you,
Yes,
Ms.
I
Zubayda,
will. I
but
will. I have prepared. Thank you so much for expressing your interest. I'm still waiting for your answers because there hasn't been a single entry, as you can see in the Mentimeter.
Yes, please, another time, share the QR code.
Okay, it is either...
Reshare it.
All right.
Please reshare it another time.
Sure.
Yes, thanks.
QR code or using the menti.com and the code given here.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes, Jawahir said, I don't know anything about that country. So it is a great opportunity, Ms. Jawahir, to learn some information about this small country from our speaker.
Okay. All right. I was expecting to receive that in Mentimeter so that all of us can see the results, but I think that nobody has written anything in the Menti. All right, near Adriatic Sea. Thank you so much. Yeah, it started to come up now. A small speaker. Am I a small speaker? Is my country a small country?
No,
A country of small
no,
speakers?
it means it. No, they mean small country.
Small
By
country.
mistake.
Okay. Small country.
Yes, yes, small country. Yes. Yes, nice. Maybe they don't know how to use Mentimeter. Here we deal with the class point. It is like Mentimeter. We give them also QR or code, and they are being active using it. But very little or few times that we use this one. I use it. I use it. I used it with my attendees, my trainees, but nowadays we are using ClassPoint, and also it is a very active or interactive application.
Yes, it is great because teachers can learn quite a lot from one from another. Yes, okay. So if there are any more answers, you can just share them with me because these are the only ones that we can see in the Mentimeter. Okay. All right, so hopefully you want to learn something more about Croatia, and I'm really glad about it because I have prepared some slides about my country. After presenting some things about Croatia, of course, I will continue with the topic of my speech today, and that is teacher innovation in education and digital collaboration. Now, there are two slogans that our tourist board has come up with. In order to justify them, let me just present you with some images of my homeland so you can decide for yourselves. So it's small country for a great holiday and Croatia full of life. This is Zagreb that you can see, our capital. Are the slides changing and the images?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, well done, good. Zagreb, the Church of St. Mark, Dubrovnik, the Pearl of the Adriatic, it is known. Due to its perfectly preserved medieval walls, it is included in the UNESCO World Heritage List, but nowadays also very popular because it was the site for the Game of Thrones, where it was filmed. Okay, here you can see Dubrovnik. This is Trogir, the Plitvice Lakes, one of the national parks under UNESCO protection as well. Croatia has 8 national parks and a dozen of nature parks. It may be a small country, but it has a very rich nature and a rich culture and history. And it boasts a total of 10 UNESCO World Heritage Sites. Picturesque Croatian port, Rovinj, Pula, where with its amphitheater, the biggest and the most preserved monument of ancient architecture in Croatia, dating back from the 1st century AD. Then the city of Split, with the remnants of Diocletian Palace, Diocletian Roman Emperor from the 4th century AD. Croatia is situated at the crossroads of Central Europe, Southeastern Europe, and the Mediterranean. This here, you can see the Croatian flag and the checkerboard, which is recognizable worldwide. Now, Croatia is, I looked up the area of Palestine. It seems to be 6,000 square kilometers. So I don't come across very many opportunities where the area of my country is actually bigger than the area of the country where I present. So it is, I still say it is a small country, and we see it as such. The population is 3.8 million. It used to be more, but a lot of people have emigrated, mostly to Germany and Ireland, especially after the European borders opened. Everything okay?
Yes,
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Please keep yourselves muted.
Our monetary currency as of a month ago is euro now. Before it used to be Croatian kuna. Predominant religion in Croatia is Catholicism, Roman Catholicism, with more than 80 people. With more than 80 people professing as Roman Catholics. Our capital city is Zagreb, and it is also the largest city in Croatia. Croatia used to be a part of Yugoslavia, but in 1991, the Croatian parliament passed the constitutional decision on independence and sovereignty of the Republic of Croatia, declaring the state as independent. It was by no means an easy transition because the Croats had to wage a defensive liberating war known as the Homeland War for independence and integrity of our state against the aggression of Serbs. And this tower, this building here that you can see, is the water tower in Vukovar, a symbol of our victory in the Homeland War. Croatia has been a member of the European Union since 2013. Now, some have modified the previously mentioned slogan into small country for great football, and Croats do believe that football is indeed the most important secondary thing in the world. Now, I'm quite, let's say, perplexed or surprised that none of the attendees remembered to mention who? Luka Modric, of course. He was proclaimed the best player football player in the world. We were vice champions in the 2018 World Cup, but also we won the 3rd place in last year's World Championship. Being such a small country, Croatia indeed has numerous famous athletes in other sports as well. So here you can see Goran Ivanišević, a former professional tennis player and a current coach for Novak Djokovic. He is the only man ever to win the singles title at Wimbledon as a wild card. When he achieved it in 2001, he was ranked 125th. Then the skier Janica Kostelić, the only woman to win 4 gold medals in alpine skiing at one Olympics, at the Winter Olympics in 2002. She also won 3, I think, gold medals in 2006 as well. And she has won the world championship in skiing in many other years as well. Here is Dražen Petrović, our too early deceased basketball player. one of the greatest Croatian and world basketball players of all time. He is included among the 50 people who contributed mostly to the EuroLeague. Here you can see Sandra Perković, discus thrower. She is also a two-time Olympic and world champion and a five-time European champion. The only individual who managed to win 5 gold medals at the European Athletics Championships in one event. And Blanka Vlašić, a two-time world champion and double Olympic medalist, who ranks as the second highest female jumper of all time with her personal best of 2.08 meters. Now, allow me please to guide you through this short virtual tour of Croatia. The Adriatic coast or the Adriatic Sea is our best known part of the country. It is a part of the Mediterranean Sea, positioned between the eastern coastline of Italy and the coastline of countries of the Balkan Peninsula. Tourism is very important for the development of our country, and our most popular destinations here are Dubrovnik, Zadar, Split, Šibenik, and numerous islands. 1,244 to be exact, but only 50 of them are inhabited. Some of the Croatian particularities are the dog breed called the Dalmatian, lace from the island of Pag, Licitar heart, a heart-shaped cookie with colorful details. Then Croatia is considered to be the homeland of the tie. The word for necktie is kravata, and for Croatians is Hrvati. The wearing of cravat started in Croatia back in the 16th century as part of the Croatian national costumes, and during the Napoleonic Wars, it became recognized as fashion, and the French adopted it. Then here you can see this sausage. It is called kulen, a type of flavored sausage traditionally produced in the part of the country where I am, in Slavonia. Then the Vučedol dove is the most significant individual archaeological finding from Croatia. It was found in 1938 in Vučedol near Vukovar and was made between 2800 and 2400 BC. One of the souvenirs from Croatia is also paški sir or paški cheese from the island of Pag, due to its specific aroma and unique taste. Now, Croatia is famous for a homeland of many famous scientists, such as Penkala, who invented the pen. Then I think you can recognize Nikola Tesla, who contributed to the design of the modern alternating current. And in the third image, you can see Ruđer Bošković, who was the predecessor of the atomic theory. Famous inventions made by the Croats are the parachute, which was invented by Faust Vrančić. Then Tomislav Uzelac, the Croatian programmer who invented a software which was considered the first successful software for MP3 players. And can anybody recognize who the person in the third person is and what his invention is? He is also a contemporary, Mate Rimac, an innovator, an entrepreneur, the founder of the Croatian electric sports car company Rimac Automobili. He also purchased Bugatti and one other company, I forgot now. He has been awarded the title of the most awarded, actually, he was the most awarded Croatian innovator. His hypercar is called Nevera, which got its name after an unexpected strong wind that blows in Dalmatia, which can reach the speed of 400 kilometers per hour. Now, Ms. Shawqia, I have this request here to allow somebody the control. Should I stop?
Yes, sorry.
Should I stop my presentation?
Why?
Because somebody requested me to stop sharing, so no, that wasn't you.
No.
Okay, maybe that
was
an accident. Okay, sorry. Okay, let's continue.
Yes.
Despite being a small country, Croatia is very diverse geographically, and it is divided, let's say, into 3 major areas and 5 geographical regions. It has got 3 different climates in such a small space. I live in Slavonia, as I mentioned earlier, a region in eastern Croatia, which is the main agricultural region and the most agriculturally developed part of Croatia. The region was originally part of the Roman province of Pannonia, but after the collapse of the Roman Empire, Croatians settled there and it became a part of their kingdom. Ever since Roman times, Požega region has been known as Vallis Aurea, or the Golden Valley. Slavonia is an agricultural area, and mostly wheat, corn, sugar, beet, tobacco, apples, pears, grapes, plums are grown here. Viticulture is also very developed. Slavonians breed mainly pigs and cattle on their farms, and they have ponds with several species of freshwater fish. Thanks to numerous rivers, streams, and preserved forests, one can enjoy our traditional hunting and fishing, and also rural tourism. You've seen some images of Slavonia. I bet they are totally different from what you are used to. This is our traditional costume. These are my students, actually. This is an image of my students. They were presenting our traditional costume and dances when we were on a mobility in Sicily, in Italy. And my town, Požega, finally, the population is around 26,000. And a lot of people have emigrated in search of better living conditions. Our town is the center of administration, culture, and as for schools, there are 4 primary and 6 secondary schools. Here, a music school, both primary and secondary, and there is a college here, Polytechnic in Požega. Okay. This is the end of my presentation regarding Croatia. Do the attendees have any questions or would they like to comment on anything?
Yes, I like it. It was very amazing presentation. Thank you.
Thank you
You
so
prepared
much.
us, and yes, and you have shed some light about your country, and also we were delighted, and many attendees expressed their happiness to know more about this small country, maybe in the area, but rich in knowledge, history, and many other things. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy that you are glad. Okay, so
Yes.
let's move on to our more, let's say, professional part of the presentation. Today I will talk about and present the characteristics of the innovative teacher. And I have compiled some, let's say, 7 traits that an innovative teacher possesses. So creativity, commitment, curiosity, connectivity or connection, compassion, courage, collaboration. Is there anything else that comes to your mind when we talk about the characteristics of the innovative teacher?
Yes, please. You can being interactive either by raising your hand or by writing in the chat box. What are some of the characteristics of the innovative teacher? Miss Jelena mentioned some, and you can add many more. Please, either you can raise your hand or write in the chat box. The core of our sessions is being interactive with our guest speakers in order to get the great benefit of our webinars. Okay, there is someone who wrote, yes, I am disappointed, Mr. Ahmed. Just we have begun and we don't distribute the link for attendance at the beginning of our webinars because we will distribute it at the end of our lecture, inshallah. Can you mention some of the characteristics of the innovative teachers?
We know that.
Where are you?
Okay, I will continue. So whenever somebody feels like saying something, they're fine. Sometimes teachers are like students too. They need a great deal of encouragement.
Yes, yes.
Yes, okay, don't worry about it.
Maybe.
We know that our educational landscape is changing at a rapid pace. And in order to meet the ever-evolving needs of our students, educators need to stay abreast of these changes. So that's why I've compiled some of these characteristics, and I'm going to present you my own personal experience for each of these traits with a couple of examples. So we'll start with creativity. Not only are innovative teachers creative, but they tend to celebrate creativity in all forms, right? We understand the importance of harnessing and nurturing actually our students' creativity. And also we need to meet the needs of all and each and every of our students. We should be able to and willing to explore their creative potential. Now, what you can view right now, I'm sure you can recognize that this is actually a screenshot from Padlet. This is an activity that I did with my students of hotel and tourism. They are called hotel and tourism technicians, hotel and tourism department. Is anybody trying to say something? No? Okay. So that was a small kind of a school project that I devised for such students. One of the tasks for them was to create a poster in Canva and to upload it to this Padlet. Now, every of these markers here on this world map actually signifies the location of the hotel that they presented. So all the hotels that they created in Canva, all the posters that they created for different hotels in Canva were invented. They are their own creation. So this was an opportunity for my students to express themselves creatively. And at the end of the activity, at the end of this project, we had a nice map with all of their work gathered there. Then when it comes to creativity, our school celebrates the European Day of Languages, which takes place and is celebrated on the 26th of September each year. So here you can see pictures, images from various activities. Some were prepared and held within a gym here inside when the weather was bad outside. This is this is a drawing on the wall made by our students in our classrooms at our school. These were the activities that were held outdoors. We prepare some games for them, interesting activities. We bring objects from different countries because European Day of Languages celebrates all languages, not just European, all languages. Here is a, let's say, shortened a bit shortened because it wasn't long in the beginning to start with, a shortened version of a video which we prepared for I think last year's celebration of European Day of Languages. I hope you are able to hear the sound after I play it, and here you will be able to, we did it in 3 languages. I will present only the part with English. The students were actually, we wanted to include as an example of a language, not only a spoken languages that people speak, but also sign languages. So students learned how to sign language, and we turned it into, or we gathered the videos into one recording. So take a look. Okay, were you able to hear the sound?
Yes,
okay,
it is
great.
audible.
Yes, great. So there was no speaking in the movie, just sign language. This is one way of celebrating European Day of Languages. When it comes to collaboration, these are the countries, or these are the schools, or these are the teachers that I collaborated with in one project only. So you can see teachers from different continents, various countries, because innovative educators value collaboration and thrive in these types of settings. Not only does the collaboration lead to a shared common vision, but it also gives you insights and opens up new perspectives. I will present at the end of this presentation, I will tell you more about this international competition that I organized, but this screenshot was taken during one Zoom meeting held on the occasion of this international competition. Okay, so speaking of collaboration, we had more than 50 people in this Zoom, and they came from different parts of the world. We had a guest, well, a teacher actually, with a student from Tunisia, from Poland, from India, from Vietnam, so everywhere. Speaking of collaboration, our students had the opportunity to participate in an international project called Nice to Meet You. And as part of English language classes, they participated in video conferences. They met peers from 11 schools around the world, from Poland, Turkey, Romania, Uzbekistan, India. We met Ecuador. This picture here shows you the meeting of teachers from different countries when we were discussing on an international project. And these are some of the images. This was from the meeting with Uzbekistan. We presented our town, country, from Poland. We met students from Poland. We had a meeting with India and Turkey. There were 3 countries in the meeting. This was from Romania, and we had a teacher guest from the Philippines, and that was really exciting. So our students presented the countries, tourist pearls, national cuisines, cities, local events, schools. They talked about how they spend their free time, how they were affected by the pandemic. They talked about human rights, about children's rights. They supported everything with interesting presentations and slides. And as part of the same, and also students got awarded this certificate of cultural ambassador. Altogether, I think that in that one school year, 23 of my students received this certificate. The feedback was extremely positive. And as part of the same project, students wrote letters, exchanged letters with peers, and I was awarded the title Teacher Inspirer as I joined this community of teachers relatively early, in the early stages. Speaking of digital collaboration, this is a very recent actually project. It took place actually this school year. We just kind of finished it sometime at the end of December. Students wrote book blurbs, and we also recorded book blurbs in the city library and wrote synopses, sent them to their partners from Bulgaria and Italy. And we designed book covers based on their synopsis and book blurbs. It was a wonderful way to learn about everybody's national writers. And here you can see how this online book looks like, where there is the Italian book, for instance. My student drew the drawing or the painting, where there is the Croatian synopsis of a book. There was, let's say, Bulgarian student who drew the book cover. So it was really a lovely project. Furthermore, we are still talking about digital collaboration. What you are about to see is a platform onto which I have uploaded my students' work. I will play for you just one brief kind of excerpt or just a short clip from a video that my students have prepared on the topic of dealing with hotel complaints. They were allowed and they were encouraged actually to use all sorts of web tools. So some of them recorded audio dialogues, some of them used some ICTs here, some of them just there were very different kinds of uploads here. So let's check one of them.
Good day.
Good afternoon, Miss Jelena. Did you have a good sleep?
Yes, I did. Thank you.
Do you like staying in our hotel?
Oh, yes. The view from my room is gorgeous and room is perfect.
Okay, so this was just one clip. Here comes the problems with the room, of course, because it was hotel complaints. You can see here that students used Plotagon application. So especially during the pandemic time, they collaborated digitally at a great extent. And that was an opportunity for them to learn about different ICT tools just as much as it was for the teachers themselves. Okay, then I will present another example of digital collaboration, which took place in this year's project as well. I don't know how familiar you are with eTwinning. It is a platform for teachers. We are currently involved in a project called Down EU Avenue, and we wanted to mark the European Cybersecurity Month, which was in October, if I'm not mistaken. And also, as you know, tomorrow is Safer Internet Day. So this is also, tomorrow we'll have a meeting I think it is going to take place tomorrow. We'll have a meeting where all these results of this activity will be presented, and teachers are going to, students are going to play the quiz that they wrote themselves. So let me take you through this activity. The students joined 4 different groups. They introduced themselves, because you can see here, these are my students, Ekonomska škola Požega. There were students from other school in Croatia, but also there were students from Romania, from, oh, I can't remember now, excuse me. Okay, so first they introduced themselves, then every member of the group took a quiz, and then they shared in the shared document what they learned in the quiz. It was, of course, about cybersecurity, safe internet. So here are some of my students and also one Romanian student's answers. The third task was to prepare several questions based on the quiz that they took, based on their conclusions that they made. And as you can see here, the quiz will be presented tomorrow on Safer Internet Day. Here, just for examples of their quiz questions that they came up with. And finally, they needed to collaborate. They needed to connect somehow, whether it was through a WhatsApp group, or some I think met on Discord or some other platform, which I'm not that familiar with. And they need to create a collaborative Canva poster in which they would share the most important information about cybersecurity. So these are the posters that they created collaboratively. So students from different schools, from different countries worked on the same poster. That was a fun activity as well. And an educational one, of course. Okay, here is another example of digital collaboration. Within the same project, students needed to introduce themselves. And this is one of my students' videos, which was created with the help of, help me now, it's on the tip of my tongue. Does anybody recognize? Can't remember what it's called now, this ICT tool. Okay.
Hello, my name is Vedran. I come from Croatia and I like to be at home and sleep.
Voki. Okay, I don't know if you have worked with Voki before. Very easy to use, very fun to use, because students can upload only their voices, their audios. They can choose from different images, videos. They can even use their own pictures. So everything is possible. They can type in, they can have some other voice read their message. So we also collected them in a mutual space here. Within the same project, we celebrated World Tourism Day. We also presented, all the participants presented the tourist destinations of their own country. Here you can see one of my students presented Briuni Islands. And this is also one of the digital example of digital collaboration for the European Day of Languages, which I mentioned earlier. Students created quotes. They translated them into their native language and into English, and they have created a common e-book where these, which consists of all these posters. Okay, this was really a nice example of collaboration. In one international project that we were involved with, we paired up with a school from Serbia. We are a neighboring country, and if you remember, I have already mentioned that we had this, let's say, animosity, or to put it mildly, in the 1990s. Students had to think of a present. They had to create a present, and we sent it through post to our partners. My students created bookmarkers with some of the symbols of our country and our town, and the students from Serbia created T-shirts, which was a really lovely idea, because both countries have a town called Požega. This is Požega in Croatia. This is Požega in Serbia. You can see they have they use Cyrillic script, not Latin like we. And they use this heart. This is an image from Banksy, a popular British graffiti artist. And they said, it can't be that we are so different because we have the same town in our countries, and that we are connected with this fact. And that was really moving for me. And then when we were coming back from Turkey, from our trip with the students, we were met by students who designed and sent these T-shirts to us in Belgrade. So the teachers were given a tour of the city by their teacher, and the students walked the city with the students. So it was a lovely output of this activity and project as well. Speaking of courage, now innovative teachers need to be courageous, brave at heart. They savor opportunities to learn new things and are not afraid to take risks in their learning and teaching. Innovative teachers do not view their mistakes as failures, but as opportunities to grow and to learn something from their mistakes. Now I will present you a short video which talks about courage. Me and my students, well, most of them were first graders, so they are 14-year-olds, set on a 7-day-long trip to Turkey on a mobility within an Erasmus project. And let me show you how courageous we were. Okay. So have you ever, let's say, accompanied your students abroad? Hello? Anyone here? Or am I just talking to my presentation?
No. Hello. Jelena, yes, very nice. You have taken us with you to a very interesting trip, especially with students, and it was touristic, enriching, and cross-cultural. For me, as a teacher, I have never had the opportunity to take my students abroad, but take them in museums, in other cultural events in the same country. But I really hope that I can experience that experience with my students too. Thank you for sharing, and also the project and the huge amount of the digital tools you are using with your students, okay, from Canva to Voki to I see the Twinning also project. Also, I worked on cultural exchange projects, but you really excel doing that. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, and thank you for the feedback. Okay, thank you so much. Okay. Right, that was the courage. Okay, so speaking of curiosity, as another feature that innovative teachers possess, innovative or curious, let's say innovative teachers are naturally inquisitive, and they love to explore new things. So I wanted to learn what curiosity meant to my students. So this was prepared in on Lino, actually, on Lino board. I set them several questions.
Very great.
Several questions.
Very great and nice. Sorry. Yes, it is Lineot. I use it with my students and my trainees, and they liked it very much.
Yeah, it's a brilliant way to collaborate, and then you've got their work kind of saved, right? So you can always go back to it, use it, and I don't know. So we talked about curiosity, and that is a trait which I want to encourage in my students as well. I don't know what your experience with nowadays teenagers is, because I'm working with students aged 14 to 18, but all of my colleagues and I have noticed that our first graders, so that will be 14-year-olds, are a lot less, let's say, responsive nowadays than they used to be. Okay.
Yes.
The same.
Really, I agree with you, especially after the period of Corona. You saw that in the Corona period they didn't study, and they were exposed to schools closure, sorry, and they didn't study, and always they didn't attend their classes, and it seems to me that they become more careless about their studying, about their understanding. And of course, after this tough situation, we as global and creative teachers, we are responsible for advocating the motivation, either the intrinsic motivation or the extrinsic motivation inside our students, in order to upgrade their proficiency, in order to upgrade and develop their competence of many subjects.
Yeah, and also they stopped socializing, and that you can feel it in their relationships.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, speaking of curiosity,
not only students, but also not only students, also our children inside our classes. They seem to me that also they become less socialized. They become they interact between their family members even inside the same house using social media, for example, and it is a disaster according to me.
Yes, I agree. Yes. I mentioned earlier that we also exchange letters, and that was a really motivating activity for my students. They loved it. We exchange letters. I think I have it somewhere on a piece of paper here, with peers from Poland, Ukraine, Tunisia, and Costa Rica. So that was a lot of fun. I talked to my principal. I kind of convinced her to allow me a certain amount of money in order for our packages or envelopes to be sent. And that was a really fun idea. My students loved it. And again, everything was done in English. So the purpose of the activity was to practice their English. These are some of their feedback.
Nice.
So they really loved it.
Reflection, as you know, is also giving reflection is very necessary in order to encourage their self-confidence, in order to encourage them to express their feelings and their points of view, in order to reflect on their strengths and also as well as their weaknesses also. It is a nice way.
Yeah, okay. Should I speed up a little bit? How much time have I got left? I have got 3 more traits.
Yeah.
Okay, so I will continue with connection. Teachers who are considered innovative are connected to the world around them. These connections can be digitally or community oriented. They are always oriented towards professional development and innovative teachers are also deeply connected to the needs of their students. So here you can see me with one of my students who was awarded the second prize for taking place in a film festival in Poland. Here are my students' happy faces during a World Chat international project in which they conversed one-on-one with a student from Turkey and from Canada. And this year we are conversing with Costa Rica, I think. Costa Rica, I'm not sure. No, not Costa Rica, but Puerto Rico, sorry, Puerto Rico. Here are the teachers at a meeting, teachers from Croatia, from Poland, from Canada. And this is me, my fellow teacher, and students during a trip in Latvia. Okay, so we are connected. We try to be connected. We act as one there. Compassion. Compassion is also an essential trait that innovative teacher must possess in order to become fully engaged and motivated about learning. Students must feel that their teachers care for them. So these pictures were taken in Turkey with my students. As I said earlier, we are a group. I always tell them, students, I am a teacher, you are students, but we are a team. We are a team, especially when we travel somewhere. So act like a team. And finally, we come to the last point, to the last trait of an innovative teacher, and that is commitment. Above all, innovative teacher is committed to lifelong learning. And here you can see my pictures from this year's receiving of the award given by the Ministry of Education in Croatia, and also from Forum for Freedom of Education that Mrs. Shawqia mentioned at the beginning of today's presentation. Here are some of the certificates that I have gained through or in the last couple of years, certificates of participation, of recognition, of membership, of appreciation, and these are all very dear to me. And
congratulations to them.
Thank you so much. And finally, my last point here today, I would like to present the international competition that we have mentioned earlier. This is the third year that the international competition is running. A colleague from my school, a German teacher, and myself, English teacher, initiated the international competition, in which we celebrate European Day, a Day of Europe, which is on the 9th of May. We set the terms and conditions. We make all the necessary requirements, prerequisites. We prescribe everything. And this is a short video clip that I have prepared just yesterday. As we are going to start this year's competition very soon, the terms and conditions are going to go live in a couple of days now. The deadline is going to be until the 15th of April. But before I fill you in with these details, let me just briefly present you a virtual exhibition of last year's acquired or entries that arrived for the competition. By the way, we had 149 students from 14 countries and 3 continents take place in this competition. We also awarded 12 best students, and we sent them really abundant prizes, because we are working throughout the year we communicate with sponsors to obtain certain awards. So just briefly, a short virtual exhibition. Okay. We also design and share certificates for students and for teachers as well. We send prizes. As I have mentioned, the competition runs in 2 categories, 10 to 14-year-olds and 15 to 19-year-olds, and students can apply with their works in German or English. If you would like to find out more about it, and I hope you will at least like our Facebook page and support us in that way, that the word gets spread. This is the email address for the competition, and Let's Celebrate Europe Day is let's say, the name of the Facebook page where you can find us. I would like to invite you, or all of you, some of you, to take up this challenge and to decide to participate in this year's Europe Day. We would love to have you celebrate this day and be a part of our competition. I thank you for your attention. I hope I haven't bored you too long. It's nearly 5:30 now. as a part of my presentation, I want to ask you kindly to complete this short evaluation, because in order for this presentation to be evaluated or acknowledged by our Ministry of Education, I need to have a positive feedback from my participants. So please, I kindly ask you to spare 30 seconds of your time and do this assessment form. Thank you so much once again.
Thank you.
Maybe you can share the link in the chat, and I will just keep the slide here visible for a moment.
Yes, you can, Miss Jelena. First of all, thank you a lot for this nice and fruitful presentation. It was really amazing and fabulous. We get a lot of information, we exchanged ideas, and it was really fantastic. Thank you another time for being with us, and we hope that you will be and join us another time. Thanks for our attendees from all over the world. Thanks for Miss Laila for being with us despite maybe her busy schedule today. And now, please, Miss Jelena, can you copy the link for this and send it in the chat box?
Sure. Okay. So I will.
Yes.
I will stop sharing then, right? So just a moment. Just a moment.
Yes, please.
I have stopped sharing now. Okay. And this is the link which I will copy.
Yes. Yes, at this moment, I want to grant you the certificate of appreciation from the Arab English Teachers Association, as we are so honored to award you, Miss Jelena, for your recognition and active participation in the 23rd webinar, which is titled Teacher Innovation in Education and Digital Collaboration. Thank you from me, Miss Shawqia Hawawre from Palestine, and also from Miss Laila Taik, and from all the attendees and participants from all over the world. And we hope you the best always. Thank you another time. And there is another certificate, of ambassadorship for our association. Also, it is presented and granted for you from Arab English Teachers Association, AETA, for your active participation and recognized outstanding contribution. Congratulations, and hope you always the best. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I'm very grateful, very honored, and extremely pleased if you and your attendees, members of your respected association, are content with my today's speech.
Of course. Thank you very much. Miss Laila, are you with
Thank
us?
you, Mrs. Jelena. Yes, thank you. I congratulate you for the excellent presentation, sharing these fabulous projects with your students, and even the cultural trip, and it is really digital at the same time and real collaboration. And congratulations for the ambassadorship of the Arab English Teachers Association with Mrs. Shawqia. We are proud of you, Mrs. Jelena, joining us in this professional development team. Another thing I want to ask you is about the last project of the Europe Day. And yeah, is it global or just European countries?
Absolutely. As I said earlier, we had students from 14 different countries and from 3 continents, from India, Vietnam, Tunisia, Indonesia, Turkey, Russia, I mean, you name it. And we would love to have you in the competition as well. If you need any other information, maybe I can put the link of the Facebook page in the chat box. Just a moment now.
Yes, it will be great opportunity to eat winning with our country, with yours, of course, and also in order to exchange experience and information between us.
I can just a moment. How do I do that? How do I get the
link?
How do I get the link? Okay.
Yes, go to the page.
Yeah,
go to the page.
Just copy it
yes.
Above. Okay. So
yes.
okay, I can briefly tell you, if you're interested, that every year we set a different topic. This year, since the European Commission has declared 2023 as the year of skills, today we have named this year's topic borderless skills, because Croatia also entered the Schengen zone within European Union from the 1st of January this year, and we have talked and devised certain interpretations of the topic that students can use in order to create their competition entry. And their entries can be in the form of a song, video, or painting, drawing, digital art.